Hey guys, this is Matt here with another battle report for Bromance Wargaming. We've got a 2250 point battle line between Dark Elves and Skaven with me and Yoshi. You should be familiar with these armies at the very least. This is the left hand side of deployment after Vanguard. You can see I have some Dark Riders. Unit of 30 Corsairs with the Banner of Swiftness in full command. Have some Warlocks in front. A Hydra, Heinrich, a Charybdis Ultra PP for Invader Zim fans, and then I have some Blackguard over there by the river. Alright, and here is the left-hand side of the deployment. I'm sorry, the right-hand side of deployment. You can see the Blackguard there by the river. We have a chariot. The filler with the one model there is my Warlocks. I had not yet received the rest of my models to finish making my custom Warlocks. White models there are my Dark Riders, and then we have Morathi hiding behind the building. She is actually out of range of the cannon, so she was hiding like a monkey in a piñata, hoping the kids don't break through with the stick. And here is Yoshi's deployment from my right to left. He has a Doom Wheel, he has a Rat Dart, he has a Plague Claw Catapult, 50 slaves, another Rat Dart. In this picture, in the building, he has a rattling gun. Behind the building, he actually has a red group of clan rats. I think it's 20 strong. I'm pretty sure the only reason he has that in there is to give his rattling gun a 4 ward save. He has got a rat dart. He's got plague monks in the back. They're spread pretty wide. He's got his BSB, his Grey Seer in there. And he actually has a guy, an engineer, I believe, with MR3 in there just to protect his bunker. He's got 40 or 50 storm vermin. He has 5 chieftains with halberds. He has another chieftain with a halberd and a warplock pistol just to give him magical attacks. He has a rattling gun attached to that one as well. He's got a cannon and another rat dart. And on his far left, or my far left, his far right, we have some gutter runners in a forest. They're going to try and protect the cannon over there because he wants to really beat up Morathi with it. Here is an overview of my movement phase. You can see that a lot of stuff moved up. The Warlocks moved forward quite a bit. The Dark Riders moved forward. Everything else kind of stayed where it was at. Luckily, I did get first turn. That made Morathi happy. You can see she moved over, kind of baiting the cannon. Alright, so in Magic this turn, I pushed the Warlocks forward so they're just within 18 inches. I Irresistible Force Doombolt. I get like 6 hits or something, and I do 2 wounds. I do 1 wound, and so I'm pretty pissed, but I rolled doubles, and on my doubles I get 11 hits, so I pick up 11 dice, and up come 2 6s with the Strength 1 Armor Piercing, so the cannon goes down, and Morathi is saved. This picture here is just a picture of what happened to my Warlocks as a result of that miscast. I lost 2. This is from shooting, I believe. I don't think I had any other magic over here, but you can see that I killed this rattling gun, which is great for my Warlocks. And I should mention that he, in fact, did not use the Storm Banner this turn. The Storm Banner is on the Plague Monks, and he didn't use it first turn, which he regretted here as I got to shoot down this element that he really was looking forward to using on my light cavalry. Alright, so here's a picture of the end of his turn 1, but I'll go through it step by step. This is the picture just to show how he advanced forward. You can see that his gutter runners on the left have moved up a little bit. His rat darts have run up in front of my monsters, and his doom wheel has come screaming up. But really, his combat blocks haven't really done a whole lot. In Magic, he took a page from Skaven AZ's book and cast Dreaded 13th, and he killed, I want to say, 19 Corsairs. That was pretty brutal. He usually, even if he gets Dreaded 13th off, he doesn't roll that many. But yeah, so those Corsairs aren't really a viable combat block anymore. This picture is from the rattling gun in the building. It killed 5 or 6 Blackguard. It didn't have cover. I didn't have cover from anything. I mean, it's in the building right in front of them. He just kind of shot until they stopped moving. This is a picture of what the Doom Wheel did. It zapped 2 of my Warlocks. You can see I have the Snake people and the Half Snake people have Warlocks as my custom Warlocks because, again, this is a Cult of Slaanesh Dark Elf army, so everything is kind of serpentine.
and for some reason he shot 20 shots at my Dark Riders, and he killed one. I don't think I even made an armor save. I think he actually just rolled a single 6 or something to wound me. It was pretty ridiculous. Alright, so here's a picture of what the game looks like after at the bottom of my movement on my turn 2. You can see my Charybdis charged. I actually attempted to charge the Hydra in there as well and just failed. I have the one lone Warlock attempting to redirect the Storm Vermin if they overrun past all of my stuff. You can see the Hydra has those 3 wound tokens. I think it's... I don't know what it took wounds from. It must have taken wounds last turn and I didn't realize it. The Chariot charged right into the front of the Slaves. I tried to charge... the Warlocks right to the right of this picture attempted to charge the Plague Claw Catapult and failed, and I think one of them died in the dangerous terrain in the middle of the board. And I don't think I have a picture of this. I am railroading the Doom Wheel. I know a lot of people play that you can't railroad random movement stuff. They allow virtual pivots. We don't really do that. The people at Gigabytes that we play with kind of frown on that too, so we just do it. I just kind of feel like it's working as intended to kind of deal with random movement stuff that's generally pretty nasty. So there I am. Well, I don't have a picture, but I am over there with my fast cav railroading the Doom Wheel straight forward towards nothing. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is Morathi attempting to cast, I want to say, Soul Stealer on the Storm Vermin or the... I think it's the Slaves actually, but it may have been the Storm Vermin. And I needed an 11. She has a +5. The oddly colored dice is her plus D3. So of course she has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She rolled 2 1s, a 1 on a D3, and a 2, and she still almost cast it, which I don't know if that makes it worse or better. But regardless, she didn't do anything this phase, and that kind of ticked me off. Here's just a picture after combat with the Charybdis. You can see I've killed two of his guys, and I thunderstomped 2 or 3 more guys off, and he did 2 wounds to me. And I either won combat barely or I stuck, which was pretty exciting. I was hoping he would fail that check since he doesn't get a reroll because of the Charybdis, but he made it. He didn't roll a 11 or whatever it would have taken. This is a picture of the combat with the Slaves. After combat, I peeled off, I think, 2 ranks with the impact hits and the attacks and stuff. They don't care. They're steadfast. I think at this point he's moved his Grey Seer over behind the building even, so that they for sure have leadership 10 with the reroll, because why not? This is just an overview of what the whole battle looks like. Again, I'm missing the railroaded Doom Wheel over on the right hand side. I put the Blackguard closer to where the Doom Wheel would end up than Morathi because she couldn't get Soul Stealer off. You know, she wasn't going to get any extra wounds. And you can see my guys hanging out in the dangerous terrain, just kind of chilling. And my Charybdis somehow still alive. Oh, that's right. So this picture reminds me, I was railroading the Doom Wheel, and then before Morathi destroyed her magic phase by rolling a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 2, she actually Spirit Leeched off the Doom Wheel. She rolled a 1, and she rolled a 6, and it rolled like a 2. So it exploded, and then that's how she got the extra dice to try and cast Soul Eater or Soul Stealer, and then she didn't. So now my Dark Rider's just kind of hanging out over here, but it's okay. They're glad they don't have to take the hits from that thing. Here's a picture of what the turn looks like at the end of his turn 2. You can see that he hasn't really moved up hardly at all. He's done some shuffling of characters around. If the Grey Seer wasn't in red group by now, it is, or before it is now. His Rattling Gun in the building has blown itself up this turn, and over on the left hand side, which you can't see, he actually charged the Shades in the flank with his Gutter Runners. They have snare nets, so he was feeling pretty confident. You know, he's actually higher initiative than me. He's the same weapon skill, so I'm hitting on 4s, no rerolls. You know, he should have more attacks than me. I only have a single rank and a banner, so that actually was pretty scary. He thought he was going to mop up some points. Here's this picture where the Chariot got withered this turn. I just had to let it go. The Slaves beat it up, and I think actually the Rattling Gun blew itself up shooting at that Chariot, which I'm A-okay with. He got blessed with Filth Off on this unit. And again, I had to let it go. I want to say he had 11 dice or something, so I was trying to stop the inevitable dreaded 13th again, since it did nasty things to me, and I didn't want to have clan rats instead of corsairs. But anyway, he made short work of the Charybdis, so we'll play a little violin for it. And over here, the results of that combat, he did 1 wound to me, and I did 2 wounds to him out of 4 attacks. So he ran off. I made a check to reform because it's my turn 3 next, and I'm just going to charge him with those fast cab that I have up there and get him off the table. Here's just another picture of what the board looked like at the end of his turn. You can see kind of what I'm dealing with. I'm going to charge his gutter runners off the table. I'm going to find something to do with that lone warlock and the Hydra and the Corsairs to deal with that giant character bus of Storm Vermin that I think I've killed 2 characters out of. So, and the slaves are still fighting, so that'll be enjoyable. So I actually don't have any good pictures of movement for this turn, but you can see that I charged his gutter runners off the table, netting me quite a bit of points. I think it was a unit of 10, so 180 points. And this was just insane. I put Heinrich the Hydra right outside of their charge arc, a little more than an inch away. I hit something like 30 people, and I did 20 wounds or 21 wounds or something ridiculous. So now that unit is a little bit more manageable. My Blackguard shouldn't have any problem at all, and it probably won't be sit fast for very long either. You can see that I have charged these, what I almost called them Wild Riders. I charged these Dark Riders into the flank, and just to help pick up some combat res. He did a single wound to me, and I failed a 4-up armor save. Remember that's a running gag with this unit. But I did do a bunch of wounds, not enough to break steadfast, of course, and so they stick. Oh, and this turn, my turn 3, I finally got into his Plague Claw Catapult with them. They didn't fail any dangerous terrain tests. They were actually small enough to avoid the fence, so they only had to take 1 dangerous terrain from the dangerous terrain in the middle of the table. They got in, they beat it up, they turn around. They're just enjoying themselves. Again, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. There's not a lot of movement going on, so I'm not taking a lot of good movement pictures. The only thing he does is he backs his Storm Vermin up so that he can see my Hydra. You may have noticed my Hydra has regained all of his wounds because when one head is severed, another takes its place. Hail Hydra. And his red group shuffled over so that his Grey Seer had line of sight, I think, to cast Dreaded 13th or something like that. What did I say? Oh yeah, the Grey Seer definitely cast with irresistible force Dreaded 13th. He rolled 23 or something like that. It was some insane number. It was more than I had Blackguard. So now the Blackguard have become clan rats. And I'm glad at least that they're not wearing heavy armor and halberds like the Blackguard were. But there goes my last combat block. So now is about the time when I decide, why am I even trying to fight him? I just need to run away and not give him any points. A picture of this ongoing combat. He did 2 wounds to my Dark Riders. Notice that again they made 0 armor saves. And I'm whittling the unit down steadily. I think this may actually be one of the only pictures I have of this round, my round 4, because it's the only one that matters. I get Spirit Leech off on his Grey Seer. He doesn't dispel it. I roll a 1. He rolls a 1. That's 3 wounds. His MR3 token is still with the Plague Monks. He couldn't make it over there. There it is. Got his General, got his level 4 caster. Everything is starting to look good, even though I have no combat blocks left, and there's an extra group of rats running around. I believe this is also my turn 5. You can see that he did 2 more wounds to my... he did 2 more wounds to my Dark Riders. Again, they made no armor saves. So that's 0 for 5. They're dead. I did win this combat. They're steadfast, but it's only a 5. They're not within BSB roll range. So I run them down, although you can see that my Chariot is on a single wound because of Wither. This is a picture of his turn 4. He's removed everything around. I actually think this picture may be his turn 5, but what happened on his, or my turn 5 rather, what happened on his turn 4, he ran up to block the Hydra. He moved everything around just to avoid me, and then to like come and try to pincer the Hydra and my Corsairs. And you can see that on my turn 5, I jumped in between everything just to give myself the ability to charge if necessary. maybe some chaff, maybe run some stuff down, who knows. This is an overview picture of what I was talking about, what the game looks like. What he did, you can see what he did on his turn 4 and the way that I moved on my turn 5. You can see my Corsairs are running to preserve their 300 and some odd points. You can see Marathia staying out of charge range. And essentially my Hydra is trying to not present an easy target, and he's redirecting my Hydra, hopefully so that I can't charge into his X-Bunker unit that has his BSB in it. So this is the picture of what he did in response to my turn 5. You can see the red group that used to be my Blackguard move forward trying to catch a Hydra or some Corsairs. The Storm Vermin swift reformed and turned around. The X-Bunker actually turned around and is trying to run away. Actually, up in the corner there on the hill, I should mention this, on my turn 5, I double doom bolted the Clan Rats. And they ran away because I got them down to 2 models. So they ran all the way away, and I don't really have anything to catch them. I think he actually moved up his X-Bunker to keep me from getting all of those points, which is fair. I can't see him with really anything. I can't wheel the Hydra around. The Dark Riders can't get around. However, you can just see the tips of tongues on my Cult of Pleasure chariot there to the right of that building, and that's going to become important here in a second. So what in the hell happened here? Well, the chariot could just barely see the butt end of the bunker. So the chariot charged in the rear, the Dark Riders charged in the front, and the flank actually, and the Hydra charged the MR3 guy there who fled. And then I charged the Hydra into the front of the bunker. Between all of that, the bunker exploded. I think it's fled, and the BSB was like the only person left alive. Or maybe the chariot ran it down. I don't know. But I chose not to pursue with the Dark Riders so that they could attempt to redirect away from the Hydra. They were going to flee or stand and hope for, hopefully, I think they're positioned such that the Storm Vermin can't overrun into the Hydra, even though it doesn't look like it from that picture. This is a picture of his turn 6. You can see that stuff flees, but it doesn't get off the board. Wow. It's like half an inch off. And here's the last picture of the game, and it looks, I'm still not sure that the, oh, never mind. The Storm Vermin, had they overrun into the Hydra, would have hit it, but we never would have fought that combat. So I gave up 100 points to save the Hydra, who's 180. But when they killed the Dark Riders, the Hydra panicked, and it panicked from the closest unit, which is the fleeing unit with the banner on the hill. So the Hydra fled this way, and there it is. My Corsairs are still alive. The Hydra's still alive. My Chariot's still alive. Both unit of Warlocks. I mean, a lot of stuff is down to a little bit, but it doesn't really matter, and it's a pretty crushing win for the Dark Elves. So we tallied it up, and it was about a 1,100 point win for the Dark Elves. So Yoshi, why don't you let me know what your closing thoughts are?
Well, damn if it doesn't suck to have to get 13th off to win the W, because there was no way I was going to get rid of the Blackguard that were right here without it. Even severely depleting them, I still would have been pincer between the Hydra and the Blackguard, and the Hydra would have done enough damage on its lonesome.
It's a bad monster, though.
It is a bad monster. Probably should have had my Rattling Gun right here covered by just Rat Darts deployed 5 wide, just to give it some soft cover. Then the Storm Banner that I did not activate on the first turn, because I didn't think I would need it. I should have, because my shooting was definitely where I was going to pick up the damn pesky fast cavalry army. Cloud of Corruption's very limited range. I never got to cast it. Too busy worried on 13th. I played Call Catapult, where I like the model. Play Call Catapult, where it's a nice model. It should do a lot, especially against Toughness 3 Elves or anyone else. Didn't do much. It's just going to be replaced with a second cannon. It'll always make back its points, unlike the Catapult. Rattling Guns, I have faith in them. They did almost blow away something. Man with the Pistol, Chieftain with the Pistol, great buy, awesome buy. Nickel and dime the Hydra, that was clutch.
I believe you mean the unwounded Hydra hanging out at the end of the game.
Should have been wounded more. I could have picked off the chariots, but I didn't get that hit in when I needed to. That's harsh, but hey, ballistic skill shooting's worth it. And that's my closing thoughts.
All right.
So, I actually was really on the. Let me rephrase this. A lot of things fell my way. I was really excited that I had enough threatening magic. The Warlocks, I've been playing without them for a long time. They're just as ridiculous as I remember. And having Doombolt and Soul Blight guaranteed just excellent spells. Marathi actually had really good spells and had trouble casting. And that's really frustrating when she's casting on like a +5 with an extra D3 added on. That it gets kind of frustrating when you can't cast like an 11. But my spell selection allowed me to really put pressure on. I was able to kill the cannon on the first turn just with spells.
IFing without any consequences?
IFing with minimal consequences.
Minimum, okay.
I lost
You lost
3.
2.
I want to say I lost 3 over the course of the game to Irresistible Force.
Yeah.
That's not out of 10. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I just the lore attribute is really nice, especially against war machines where I'm already needing 6s. That's actually what finished off that cannon. So other than that, the big thing that I remembered this game was that I'm not playing Brawler Bash anymore, and so I don't have to go after all of the points. I'm not in a Carnage system. I got 1,900 points, I want to say, 19 and change, and that was enough for an 1,100 point win. That's actually a big deal. That's not, and in Brawler Bash, 17 or 1,900 points is trash. That's trash. You got to do better. So I got to about turn 3 and I looked at the board and thought, why am I still moving my Corsairs up? Why don't I just run them away? They're saving me 300 points right now. Like, what am I doing? Same thing with the Blackguard. Once they disappeared, I was like, well, what am I don't have to fight anything anyway. I'm up in points. I'm just going to nickel and dime stuff. I'm just going to magic everything to death and then pick up the W that way. And it won't be a big win, but I will lose if I continue to just throw points away after trying to kill the Storm Vermin. So, and then we had that one glorious magic phase where I exploded all sorts of clan rats and a Grey Seer. So, but once I learned how to play again, that was very good. I enjoyed the army. I enjoyed the Dark Riders, even though I couldn't make a 4-up armor save usually. I enjoyed the Warlocks, even though I had a really bad time rolling the 4-up board saves. Charybdis did good by killing 2 chieftains with his 1 round of combat, his 5 attacks. Thumbs up, Charybdis.
Ouch.
And overall, the list is pretty good, so I think I might stick with it and see what happens when I go to Gigabytes next week.
All right.